What's up, sneaker fans? Thanks for tuning in to a More Than Hype review, and in this video we'll be taking a look at a pair of Adidas Campus 80s. A classic Adidas silhouette. Seems like Adidas is actually giving the Campus the forum treatment in that they're giving us just a bunch of different variations off of the Campus, but out of all of them, I think that these here, the Campus 80s, is the best version. You get some really nice materials, the colorways are overall pretty clean, and the shape of the shoe is also really nice. Even with all that, this is definitely not a flashy shoe, which is probably why no one's really talking about these. But it's a good shoe nonetheless. So with all that said, let's get right into the review, starting with the packaging. And these come in your standard Adidas Originals box. So we have our blue box, white 3 stripes, some Adidas triple logos around, and then we have our label on this side here. Official name of these is Campus 80s. Now when it comes to Adidas naming, anytime you see a year in the name, that usually indicates that these will have some nice materials. That has been the trend with Adidas, and the Campus 80s is no different. These come with some nice materials. Style code on these, FX5440. Official colors, collegiate navy, footwear white, and off-white. Far as sizing and fit, I find that Campus 80s run a half size big, so I would suggest you go down a half size. So my true size is at 8.5. That's what I get in most other footwear from Adidas as well as Nike. I went half a size down to size 8, and I like the fit. Now quickly touching on fit, the comfort on these is actually pretty surprising. For a shoe that was designed in the 80s, these are actually very comfortable on feet. That has a lot to do with the sock liner that you get on the Campus 80s. We'll get more into that later. Retail price of these was $110, and even at that retail price, what you're getting here is a lot of shoe for your money. However, because not many people are talking about these, with a quick Google search, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to find these in your size for a deal. That about does it for the label. Now, let's take a look at the shoes. So we open up the box. We get Adidas triple logos all over the paper, but then here are the shoes. And like I said, you can see through the camera some really nice materials here with these. Full suede upper, some nice overlays in this smooth white leather. But let's get both pairs out and take a closer look. Now we got the box out the way, let's take a closer look, starting with the upper. And your full upper is comprised of a really nice suede material. We can take a closer look here. Very buttery indeed, but that does not mean that these don't give you support, which is one of the more surprising things about the Campus 80s. While you get a really soft buttery suede upper, it also has a lot of structure, which I'll get into in a second. But first, 3 stripes here in this smooth white leather I think looks really nice. The thinner, longer stripes look really cool. Medial side, same 3 stripes, and then we have our back tab in white leather as well in that very classic Adidas shape. I'm really not even sure what to call this, but it's just so classically Adidas. Triple logo and Adidas printed on there in black. Now getting into this upper here, we can see starting from the toe box, very nice suede material, but a lot of structure in here. So there is a backing to your toe box here, as well as basically the whole entire shoe. So you get a lot of support out of the shoe. Again, very surprising to me. So when I push this down, it retains its shape. It springs right back up. Going to the heel area, you do have a pretty sturdy and heavy duty internal heel counter here to make sure that your foot isn't moving around too much. That adds to the comfort of the shoe itself. These come stock with collegiate navy colored flat laces, nothing on the aglets. One thing I love about these and how is just how clean the design is. So it's just the shoe and nothing else here. So if we look at our tongue, that's all in that same suede material, but nothing printed on it. No, badge of sport, no Adidas logo, and nothing on the side here either. So something Adidas likes doing, they put that gold foil and write or script Campus on these. None of that on the Campus 80s. I think that was a really smart choice. Just letting the design speak for itself. You don't need to write Campus on the side on these or even have another logo here. So really, the only sort of indication or branding on these other than the 3 stripes on the side is on the back tab here. So Adidas only written once on this whole entire upper, which is kind of surprising, but something that I really like about these. These also do come with an extra set of laces. So This was actually attached to this pair of shoes, but we get, our labels, some papers, and then cloud white or footwear white for the laces. Honestly, I prefer the navy colored laces, but I'm sure you could make an argument for why the white would also look really clean on these. Getting into the inside, the quality continues. Starting from the back of the tongue, you do get like this exposed piece of foam. So a little bit of padding there for your tongue. A lot of padding on the inside of the shoe here. It's also lined in the smooth black leather. So again, quality on these. For a shoe that has been mass produced, you get some really nice things here. Like this full black smooth leather lining around your heel area. This is usually the first part of the shoe for me to wear out, and this definitely adds to the durability. Also extremely soft. And then finally, getting into the sort of inside, you have your sock liner. Now it's a very simple, small thing that they added to the Campus 80 sock liner. Starting with, first, you get this sort of design here with Adidas and the Trefoil logos, but then this little piece of foam here, your arch support. This was actually something that Nike used to include in their shoes as well. They'd have a small and large arch support which you could insert and sort of tape into your sock liner, but Adidas did that for you here. And even though this is small, it adds a world of comfort to these shoes. That extra support around the arch, at least for me, feels really, really nice. That about does it for the upper. Now moving on to the midsole outsole, and it really is one and the same here. So we have a rubber cup sole stitched in like a off-white color, and then we have our outsole in that same matching off-white color. Very classic Adidas traction pattern here with this herringbone. And really, that's all about it for these. Again, overall, you can tell that Adidas is trying really hard to get the campus to pop, almost like the NMDs or the forums. Get them a little bit more ubiquitous throughout sneaker culture. It's going to be hard because these are not a flashy pair of shoes. Forums are definitely a much more sporty silhouette compared to these. Really interested to see where Adidas goes with these. If you're looking for a pair of shoes that has a retro look that you could just wear every day, then I think the Campus 80s is something that you can consider. And right now, because not a lot of people are talking about them, you might be able to get them for a deal. So that's about it for these. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe for more sneaker content, and I'll catch you on the next video.